Greetings one and all. Welcome back to my kitchen here today, where I'm excited to be making a Buko pie. Now Buko pie is a well-loved dish from the Philippines, and Buko is Filipino for coconut flesh, or coconut, I think. It might be young coconut, not sure. Anyway, we'll be using young coconut flesh in our Buko pie. But the first thing I want to do is just make my pastry. So in a bowl here, I've just got 3 cups of plain flour that's been sifted. Just going to add a pinch of salt. Just mix that through a bit. Alright, now here I've got 150 grams of shortening that I'll be using. Now it's vegetable shortening, but this was actually made with, it's kofa made with coconut. So I've just sort of got that out of the fridge really cold, and I've just sort of carved shavings off it, but still in fairly large sort of lumps like that. So, and it's still cold, even though it's starting to warm up here today. And I just sort of want to rub that with my fingertips a little bit into my flour. But we want to retain sort of fairly good sized balls like that. Don't sort of push it down too much, or your pastry will get too sort of flaky. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Now I've got here about 3/4 cup of cold water, but we're not going to be using all that, hopefully. I'm just going to add a little bit at a time, about a tablespoon so at a time, and we'll just mix that in. I'm eventually just going to get my hand in there and sort of roll her. See if we can get that into a bit of a ball. Alright, now once it sort of comes together in a loose sort of ball like that, that's sort of how we want it. What I'm going to do is just slice that rough ball in half. And I'm going to form 2 smaller balls. And I'm going to wrap both these balls in some cling film. Get them into the fridge until we need them a bit later. Alrighty, time to make the filling for my pie. So I've got in here already 3/4 cups of sugar. I haven't turned the heat on yet. I'm just going to do that now. And here I've got 1 can, and that's 340ml can of evaporated milk. So it's the milk, it's a little bit creamy, evaporated. In it goes. It's not already sweetened because obviously we've got our sugar in there. So I'm just going to let that come to a boil and then a little simmer just to dissolve that sugar. Now as soon as that evaporated milk and sugar starts just about coming to a boil and all that sugar's dissolved nicely, so it's just starting to tick over, I'm now going to add my Buko, or the flesh of the young coconut, and see how it's in nice big chunks like that. That's how you want it. Sliced, not sort of finely grated or in strips or anything like that. And this amount, I'll just throw it in and I'll show you. I had to buy mine in cans like this, so this amount here is 3 drained cans. Now you can buy it sliced like that frozen sometimes, or probably best of all, you could get a fresh young coconut, break it open yourself, and yeah, scoop out the flesh and slice it into pieces like that. But for convenience sake, the canned stuff's fine. So we're just going to simmer those coconut pieces in that syrup for a little bit. Not syrup, the milky sugar mixture. Alrighty, so that young coconut meat has been simmering away now for just 3 or 4 minutes, not too long. Now next thing I've got here is I've got 3/4 cup of corn flour or cornstarch and about 1/2 cup of coconut water, which I can just buy in sort of cartons like this. And we're just going to, once that's thoroughly mixed up, of course, just stir that into our mixture. And again, we're just going to let that simmer away until it thickens up really nicely. And as you can see, guys, with that corn flour, once it mixes in and that heat starts coming through it, it starts thickening up really nicely, and that'll do us. We're just going to take that off the heat. I'm going to keep stirring it for another minute or two, just so it doesn't burn on the bottom. But I'll get it right off any heat, and just, we've got to let that cool down completely. Alright, I'll get back to you a bit later. Alrighty guys, so I've just got one of my balls of pastry out of the fridge. It's been in there an hour or so. And as you can see, I've just floured my bench there a bit. And I'm just going to roll that out into a bit of a circle. And once I've got in a bit of a rough circle there, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit more flour on and just dust that over the surface a bit. And we're going to just fold this firstly in half, like so, and a bit more flour on that half. Just get it over into quarters, like so. Now here I've got my pie pan, which I've just lightly greased with some butter, just a little bit. And with this corner, that's going to be the middle, we just open it out, like so. And we're just going to gently push it right up into those corners. And just this excess here, we're just going to trim off all the way around. Leave it a little bit sort of overhanging, obviously, because we're going to put a lid on this shit. Now I'm just going to put this back in the fridge for a little bit, just while I roll out my lid next. Alrighty, let's assemble this pie. I've just pulled my base out of the fridge. Wasn't in there too long, just basically while I was making up my lid. I've whisked up some egg wash. I've got my cold filling here now. And we're just going to spoon that carefully. Into our base. So we're missing a bit sort of over here. Like I say, push it right into those edges. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to run a bit of egg wash just around the top edge where I'm going to be putting the lid on shortly. And then I'm going to take a fork, like so, and just push it down so that helps to seal the edges. Alrighty, now I'm going to give it a nice egg wash all over the top. And last but not least, I'm just going to prick some holes on the top, allow air to escape. And let's see, I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to whack it in there for probably around an hour, but I'm going to check it in about 45 minutes to see how it's going, but I'm anticipating roughly an hour or so. Alrighty guys, so I'm just going to let that pie completely cool down now to room temperature, and then we might even pop it in the fridge a little bit to chill it a bit later. So yeah, we won't be tasting this for a good few hours yet. Alrighty guys, so it's a couple of hours later, and yeah, I've cooled my Buko pie down. Just give myself a slice as you just saw. I'm just going to give it a try. Alrighty, I've got nothing to report except that is absolutely yum. Really nice. Really happy with the way the pastry turned out. I wasn't worried about the filling. I knew it was going to be delicious, but as a package, that's just yummy. Now you can serve this cold, or you can serve it warmed up again. You know, obviously lots of things will go with it, ice cream, whatever. But it's yummy just like that, as a nice slice. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for doing that. I just want to thank anyone who's just watched this video this far. And if you haven't subscribed, can I just ask you to hit that subscription button? It doesn't cost you anything. There's no obligation on your part. But it really does help out my channel if you could do it for me. Alrighty, I will see you all next time.